Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Thursday, February 4th, 2021. And today is a day that's ruled by the throat chakra and guided by intelligence. And the galactic signature of today is the yellow cosmic human energy. And so the yellow human energy is all about influencing free will and wisdom. And so it's this idea and this understanding that we all have free will. This is one of the gifts of this reality, of this dimension, is that free will. And so with that free will, we can choose whatever path we like. Yes, we do come here with a fated or a destined path. We come here with a specific trajectory that our soul is hoping for in order to experience the most growth. However, we have the free will to navigate this experience however we see fit. And it's really interesting because it's sort of like, I imagine our souls up there and they choose this life, they choose this trajectory, all of these things that are most likely going to happen. But then we come down here and it's kind of like, it's like a roll of the dice. Like, are we going to follow that path or are we going to deviate off the course? And is there really any such thing as deviating? And really, in all reality, there's not, because we can always grow and we can always learn and we're always having an experience. And so it's just different opportunities for growth and learning that we encounter depending on what free will choices we make. But I think it's really interesting because it's almost as though our soul, like, we kind of understand the human that we are entering into. We understand the biology. We understand the different complexities of the mind of the individual that we are choosing to merge with and sort of ride out this incarnation with. And so we can kind of approximate what the likely choices and decisions are going to be. But we never really know until we get here. And so it's really, that whole concept in and of itself is fascinating, which is an absolute tangent. However, I find this kind of thing very, very interesting. But it is this idea that we do have free will. We get to make these choices. We get to make these decisions. And the process of making these choices and decisions and then dealing with the consequences of them, having the experience that we have as a result of them, is how we develop wisdom. And once that wisdom has been developed, we then have the opportunity to share that wisdom, and that's where the influencing comes in. We can share that wisdom with others, which may in some way, shapes, or forms influence their own path and their own free will choices. And we understand and we see how we have a collective energy and collective agreements about our reality. And about what choices are the right ones, what choices are the wrong ones. And the collective agreement on reality does greatly affect the spectrum of our choices and our decisions. And so we can influence the collective by sharing our wisdom and helping them to have a little more information and understanding to make different free will choices without having to make the same choices possibly that we made. Does this always work? Absolutely not. Does it work sometimes? Yes. Does it work as a collective as we gain more wisdom and we all begin making, I don't want to say better free will choices, but more educated and just different free will choices, if you will. And so we also have the cosmic tone today, which is about enduring transcendence and presence. And so this is the tone, this is the 13th tone of creation. This is the tone that ties together all the previous 12 tones, embodies all of those tones, and then transcends and moves beyond them. So when we move into the 13th tone, this is how we transcend linear time. This is how we move into the cosmic mind, into cosmic time. And we do it by being extremely wholly rooted in the present moment, being fully present. And so that energy of being fully present, very prevalent today. The affirmation for today is, I endure in order to influence, transcending wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the cosmic tone of presence. I am guided by the power of intelligence. And so this is also telling us that we can make our own free will choices today. And the best way to make those choices, to make the most powerful choices for us, is to be fully present as we are making them, to be fully present in every moment of our lives. And when we are fully present, it becomes the best decisions for us become much more clear. And notice I said the best decisions for us. And this is an important thing to understand. Like we can attempt to influence other people with our wisdom. But we cannot make choices for them, and we really don't know what is the best choice for somebody else because we are all so very different. What's a great choice for me may not be a great choice for you. Even if we're facing the same situation and I tell you what happened to me in that situation, that may not have the same effect if that same thing happens to you. And there's no guarantee that if you make a choice that I made, that same thing is going to happen to you and it's going to have the same impact. And maybe that impact is necessary where I feel that it was I don't want to say harmful. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, we don't really ever know. So all we can do is share our wisdom and then allow others to make the choices that they're going to make. You know me better than I know you. And so I can share my wisdom, but at the end of the day, if you are fully present and you are tuned in and tapped into yourself, you know what the right decision is for you. And yes, you can take any input that I put in and take that into consideration when you are making your own choice, but it's always our own choice. And this energy honors that above all else. All right. And the astrology, and what did I do? Oh, I didn't knock it over too far. I knocked over the Two of Swords here, which is interesting, that choice point energy. That is that energy of when she's blindfolded and sitting like this, she has no choice except to be fully present, right? So I think that's interesting. All right, so today, the most prevalent energy that we have going on today is a T-square going on between Mars opposing the Moon in Scorpio, and they're both squaring the Sun. And so this is an interesting energy. The way I'm really feeling this energy for us today is this energy of, and remember, or I don't remember, the moon is in Scorpio right now as well. I forgot, I didn't have time to do the daily reading yesterday, so we didn't go over that. The moon was in Scorpio yesterday as well, but the moon is in Scorpio, so this is intense emotionality. This is that very instinctual kind of emotion that we're feeling today, that primal emotion, that raw emotion with that Scorpio energy, that shadowy emotion sometimes. And so we have our instinctual nature, very, very instinctual with this Scorpio energy, opposing this Mars and Taurus energy. And so this is like our drive, our ambition, our motivation, what it is that we want. What it is that we want, that we know is worth going after, and that we've made those steps to start moving toward. And the sun in this case would really, to me, represent the self. And so we're looking at this sort of push-pull, this tug of war between like where we want to go and what we want to do, and our instinctual nature, and sort of like where that might be holding us back today, or where like our instinct is telling us to recoil when we want to move forward. And so that struggle between like getting where we want to go and like having to sort of reprogram some of those old instincts and those old behaviors that are holding us back, and maybe seeing some areas where that shadowy material is coming up within our emotional body that is sort of fighting that. It's kind of like that tug of war between the ego and the soul that we talk about, where the ego, and that more emotional, sensitive part of our nature is sort of not necessarily fully on board, or is showing us reasons why maybe we want to hold ourselves back a little bit. And so another way, a really fun way to look at this and resolve this T-square energy is to actually look at the opposing sign. So where we have the sun here in Aquarius, the opposing sign is Leo. And so with that Leo energy, this is a great way for us to also navigate a T-square, is to embody that Leo energy as we're moving through today. And so that's like, we have these fears and we have these doubts and we have these aspects of ourselves that are sort of maybe paranoid or afraid or wanting to pull us back, or not feeling quite safe, not feeling, possibly just having like emotions over the whole process, right? Like maybe the process of moving towards our goals is is bringing up fears and phobias, or it's bringing up self-confidence issues, or whatever it is. There's something emotionally, like we're worried about being injured emotionally as we move forward. And so all of that stuff is coming through and sort of like wanting to not necessarily keep us stuck, but sort of has the potential to produce that sort of energy today. And so we want to draw upon that Leo energy. That energy is courageous, right? Leo is the star of the show. Leo wears its heart on its sleeve. Leo is that big, warm, fiery, loving energy, that center stage kind of energy. And so we want to tap into that. We want to tap into our inner Leo and really like allow ourselves to be seen, allow ourselves to shine, and know that we are worth it and we can do it, and just really move forward from that point of energy today. Tap into that energy. We all have all of the signs in our chart somewhere. Even if we don't have a planet in that sign, we still have a house that's ruled by that sign. We are the embodiment of the entire zodiac. The planets and the houses and all of that different stuff just shows the ways that we are most likely to express these different types of energies in our own being, how we embody those in our lives. But make no mistake, we contain all of those. So tap into your inner Leo today to navigate this energy. With that Scorpio moon, this is the rawest, most intense of the energy. So just a lot of emotions that may be coming up today, like we said, especially around passion and purpose and moving forward and all the different things that Mars represents to us. Yes. But we do have that that Mercury conjunct Pallas energy still, which is really helping us to see that greater way forward, and that new moon is going to be enormous for this. That video will be coming out very shortly here. Trying to look and see if there's anything else I want to mention. Yes, we do have Venus conjunct Saturn today as well. And we had this yesterday. And so this energy is very much... we're taking things seriously right now when it comes to our finances, when it comes to our love lives and our relationships. We're really taking a serious look at these things. We're looking at them as adults. We're looking at them responsibly. There's just a level of pervading seriousness and a need to really get down to brass tacks, to really see things as they are and create a structured plan to move forward. What is the truth in this situation when it comes to my relationships, when it comes to my finances, and how can I move from this point forward to what it is that I desire? And so that energy absolutely as well coming through strongly for us. All right, let's see. I think we're gonna get some guidance from the Keepers of the Light for today to start out. Clear. Guidance for today. Okay. Joan of Arc, voice of truth, flying right out. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. And so that's that energy that we're talking about, right? When we are, our purpose right now, for all intents and purposes, would be sort of like that Mars energy right now. I'm really feeling that masculine side of our energy, and that just with everything that's gone on, all the upgrades that Mars has received throughout 2020, I'm really feeling like Mars as the pioneer of our purpose in a lot of ways right now. And so we can see that energy being contested by our emotional nature, that fear of persecution, that fear of that's part of that shadow energy that we were discussing, right? When we were discussing that opposition with the moon. And so we're really being called to stand strong and to speak our truth where our truth needs to be spoken. And we're certainly getting a helping hand from Mercury right now, which is retrograde in Aquarius, which is a truthful sign, a sign that does represent truth. And also with that sextile to Eris still going on, which is really fueling us and firing us. So speak your truth, but speak it with integrity, and speak it with purpose. Speak for a purpose. I'm feeling this is energy, and this is something, and this is actually coming through as something that we're here to learn during Mercury retrograde as well, is like, how do I speak with purpose? How do I speak with intent? Our words carry enormous power, so how am I using my words? How am I using my voice? When is the time to speak, and when is the time to remain silent? When is the time to talk, and when is the time to listen? Like, this is the kind of stuff. What am I saying? Am I choosing my words deliberately, or am I just letting them fall out of my mouth? Because there's a difference. And when we start to realize how important and impactful our words are, we have a responsibility to choose them with care. And so that energy coming through as well. But it's like, choose them with care, but still speak them. Do not be afraid to speak your truth. Joan of Arc is a champion of that. And she's someone to call on if we are struggling to speak our truth or to find our truth. Joan of Arc is an amazing, amazing being to call on to assist you with that. So yeah, I like that energy coming out for us. Then we have the Miriam, Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Love has no boundaries, but we need to. So I just want to throw that out as a caveat, because I know a lot of us have been working on personal boundaries. Like, love has no boundaries, but we as humans need to have boundaries. So I just wanted to, I don't want that to get confusing there. But it's, yeah, so there is forgiveness that is necessary as well. And I'm also seeing this with the Sacred Vision coming out next to the Joan of Arc card. It's making me think, because Joan of Arc, right? She used her visions to lead this army, right? And I'm not great with history and different stuff like this, but I'm fairly certain that she was she not burned for being clairvoyant? Did she not die as a result of that ultimately, because of the fear that other people had of her, even though she had this incredible gift that did incredible things for, at least for, the side that she was fighting for. But it's like, share your sacred vision is what I'm seeing. People have been getting visions. They've been receiving downloads. You have information and knowledge. I feel like there are people watching this video right now, and you have information and knowledge to share. And perhaps you've been worried of sharing it because you're not quite sure how it's going to be perceived, possibly by the other people in your life who may not. I know that a lot of people, when they begin to awaken, they're kind of the only one. And so a lot of their friends, a lot of their family are not on the same page. And when you start talking about this stuff, like, there are some people who would think you were crazy. Like, that's why we come here, because we're all on that same page. Like, we don't have to worry about that. Like, we know. But a lot of people are very perturbed. They're concerned, right? But share it, especially if what you're, I won't say especially, but even if what you're receiving goes against the grain, contradicts possibly things that you once believed, contradicts things that other people believe, is not the popular thing, maybe sounds a little far out there, whatever it is. If you are receiving visions, if you are receiving downloads and information, and you've been feeling like you're meant to share it, but you've been afraid to share it, then this message is for you, and you are meant to share it. And to just figure out what ways, what mediums, how can I express this? Where can I share this? Right? I mean, I'll get into a conversation with anyone who wants to have a conversation, but a lot of the way that I share stuff is through YouTube. Like, yes, I am blessed that most of the people in my life, all of the people in my life actually, are very spiritually open and are very much on the same page. And that was not always the case, but it's just gradually over time. And it's not a thing. It's not that I don't love anybody else that was in my life at one point. It's just we don't resonate strongly enough anymore. And the people that I still resonate strongly with are the people who are also on this spiritual path. And so those are the people that have remained in my life. And I've been fortunate that I've been connected with people. And I know some people who are on that same wavelength. There's not a ton of us. It's not a huge group or anything. I have a small circle. However, yeah, so, but I can certainly empathize with that. But it's like, this is the medium that I found where I'm able to share my voice. And I share it in lots of different ways too. I don't necessarily go get a bullhorn and shout it from the rooftops every day. And there's like, I don't try to shift the perception of every person that I meet at the grocery store or anything like that. Like, I don't have the energy for that. I allow who's attracted to my message to find my message, right? But there's a way that will resonate with you. There's something, if you are being guided to share this, chances are the way that you are meant to share it, you're also being guided to, if you pay attention, if you stay fully present and you really ask these questions. Like, whatever pops into your mind first is like, what would be the way that I would share the information that I'm receiving, the knowledge, the wisdom, right? This day with that energy is all about sharing that wisdom. Like, what would be the best way to do that? And like, those answers will come through for you. So yeah, that's a big message coming out. And then that forgiveness piece, huge as well. And then we have, of course, talking about awareness and presence, Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. So this is it. This is the message that wants to come through today. It's all about trusting your inner voice. Whoever it is that is watching this, who is having trouble trusting that inner voice, having trouble trusting their inner guidance, perhaps having trouble even believing that they are receiving divine messages and downloads. You are absolutely receiving that. Trust yourself. Trust your inner guidance. Trust that guidance that is coming from your spiritual team, your angels, from source. Like, that is being given to you for a reason. And if you aren't sure how to share that yet, just write it down. Just keep a record of it. And the ways to share that will develop, it will happen in the correct timing. Like, for some of you guys, it's just like really that first step of trusting yourself and understanding, like, I think some of us too, and there was a time where I worried about this too, is like, we feel like we're receiving the guidance, but then we get worried about misleading people. Like, we never want to mislead people. And so we don't necessarily know if we want to share, because we're like, well, what if this isn't true? What if this isn't right? First of all, truth is relative, right? So, like, my understanding and where I come from is the information that I get, I share. I always tell people, if it resonates, then it resonates. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Really, what it's meant to do is spark something within you that helps you to find your own truths and connect with your own inner guidance, right? And so I'm not telling anyone to believe me, to not believe me with anything that I say. I'm just putting out there my perspective and the information, what is being channeled to me, what it is that I'm receiving. And so when we do this, it's like what people do with that. And remember, it's not, this is anything, any type of true spiritual guidance that you are being channeled is not going to be, it's not going to be hateful. It's not going to be negative, low vibration. It's not going to be anything that is going to cause anybody to do harm, right? This is positive, like it's not that kind of energy. And so we don't have to worry about that. We can just trust that if there is a message coming through, I can share that message. And those who are going to relate to it will relate, and those who won't. But it's like, there's just so much fear I'm feeling. And I know that a lot of this for some of us also has to do with past lives. It has to do with past lives where we suffered very much the fate of Joan of Arc. Right? That's why she is such a powerful guide for so many of us, is because she has quite literally been through that fire. She knows and she understands what it's like to be persecuted for using your voice, for sharing your vision. And she is here to help give others the courage to do that, because it is so very necessary, especially right now. But there's a lot of us that are healing from those past life energies as well. So she's just, her energy right now, I feel coming through so strongly for people. She wants you to connect with her. She wants to be that guiding force that helps to walk you through this fear. Yeah. Anything else that wants to come out? This is beautiful. And then we have Horus, Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring, okay? And so this is what we're saying. We were talking about how powerful our words are, right? So our thoughts are words in our heads. And so our thoughts are just as powerful. Like, when we speak something out loud, I believe that we give it extra power. However, our thoughts are just as powerful. Our visualizations, our expectations, our beliefs, all of that. And so, this is saying, pay attention to that and use that to your advantage. Speak what you want into being. Is the kind of that's what Horus is here to tell us right now. Speak what you want into being. And then, of course, with Mercury, open communication on the bottom of the deck, which is perfect, right? Speak what you want into being. And yeah, that once again, using your voice, right? Mercury, communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up and be with love and be heard. So that energy, just the communication, getting that out there, right? This is Mercury retrograde. So we want to be, like we said, extra aware of our words, the intent behind them, and how they are going to be received. And by that, I don't mean like, don't say something that you need to say because it might be received poorly. I just mean like the context with which we share something, the way that we share things. We want to try to have a little bit of finesse with that, That doesn't mean be dishonest. We want to be fully honest. We just want to do that. That's why it says speak up with love, in the most compassionate way, understanding the other person, understanding where they're coming from, taking that time to listen as well as speak when we are communicating, and just really like knowing our audience, right? That's what it's all about, is knowing your audience. What is the most effective way that I can communicate my truth in this situation to this person or this group of people? And then that's how we go about it. All right. I think that is... I had Melchizedek coming up on the bottom of the deck there. I forget sometimes how much I love this deck. Yeah, I feel like that's it. I feel like it's gonna be overkill, and he still was on the bottom of the deck when I finished shuffling there. You have learned from experience, more inner study is now required to further progress. And so continuing our learning, I'm just feeling this as like this initiation that we're going through around communication, around how to use our thoughts, how to use our words, how to share our truth. All of that is like this next phase of higher learning that we're going through. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you very, very much. If you like this video, like, share, subscribes, all that stuff really helps the channel to continue to grow and the messages to get out to more people. So it is very, very appreciated. There are links down below if you wish to donate to my channel, which is also appreciated. And my email is also down below with a description of the different services that I offer. If you want a personal reading, if you want an angelic energy healing, any of the different stuff that I do, all of that is in the description box below. I love working with you guys. I also love hearing from you guys. So drop a comment. Let me know how you're doing, how the energies of today are resonating. I love and appreciate every single one of you so very, very much. Mwah.